So you're nervous or freaking out about basic training. Well, hopefully this video can help you out, but without further ado, let's get to it. What is up, guys? Ben Allen back again with another video, and we're going to be talking about basic training, right? Specifically, kind of making it not seem as bad as you may be making it out to be in your head, right? Because you get ready to ship out and then the anxiety starts to build, the nerves come in, and you're just like, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm freaking out. Like, can I handle it? Is basic training going to be as hard as they say? Are they going to yell at me? Am I going to cry? You know, those are common questions I get asked on my Instagram or just in my Discord, like, hey, like, how bad is basic training? Is it as bad as they say it is? And I'm going to cover just a few things in this video. It won't be super long or anything, just to kind of help your nerves a little bit and just describe how my basic training experience was and others that I know personally that have told me how their basic training experience was. And so hopefully it can just give you some sort of peace of mind. But guys, before we jump into the topic, be sure to like this video, comment down below when you going to basic training and where. And also be sure to subscribe, guys. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're new here, be sure to check out my Discord. The link for that is in the description box below. There's over 300 people in there that can help answer y'all's questions if I can't. But if you want an answer from me specifically, you can try and hit me up on my Instagram at @thebenallen, also linked down below, and I will try to answer your questions as well. So with the intro out of the way, guys, right? Basic training, is it as bad as they say it is? I want to say it depends, but really it's not. It's not that bad compared to how you're probably making it out to be in your head. That is, right? Because typically, if you're fresh out of high school, right, maybe if you're joining at a later age, it's probably not going to be that bad to you because you've already experienced real life situations, the workforce, all that kind of stuff, right? But if you're fresh out of high school, right, this is probably the first thing you're doing since graduating, right? Maybe you've only been out of high school for like 2 months, 3 months, however long, right? And you're just nervous. It's probably your first time away from home. It's probably your first time flying on a plane, right? I know it was for me, and I was more nervous about that than actual basic training, but it wasn't that bad. I got on my flight, it was smooth sailing, right? But there's probably a lot of things going through your mind, right? Some of you guys are probably really close to your family. Some of you guys probably have girlfriends, wives, kids, whatever, right? That you have to care for or want to be there for, and that distance creates more anxiousness, more nerves because you don't know what's going on back home, right? My advice for you guys is focus on basic training. Focus on your training because stuff back home is going to continue to happen, right? Whether you're there or not. So the only thing you can do really is try not to worry about it. I know that's a lot easier said than done, right? But you know, if you go through basic training with the mindset of like, I need to focus on basic, I need to make it through day after day after day, right? It'll be easier because your mind's not constantly fogged with, oh my God, is my mom okay? Is my dad okay? Is my dog okay, right? Is my significant other cheating on me, right? Like, you know, those are all thoughts that could pop into your head. But the best thing to do is honestly, just don't worry about it. There's really not much you can do from basic training anyway. So I had a coach in football that would always say, control what you can control. You really can't control the stuff back home while you're at basic. So try not to pay it any mind. Just know that when you finish basic training, because basic training is only 9-10 weeks, guys. Like, really, you'll get to go home at least once between that period after basic training before you go to AIT, OSIT, or you may have like a holiday block leave. But you will get to see your family soon enough, right? And you'll get your phones periodically, right? Especially back then when I went through, we only got our phones like twice in basic training. And if you go back even further, they weren't getting their phones at all. But nowadays, guys, in 2023, I hear they're getting their phones every Sunday, right? It just depends on the commander, but I do know for a fact, even probably the most strictest company is giving their soldiers some amount of phone time, at least more than once the whole cycle, right? So just when you do get your phones, try and connect with your family, try and, you know, just catch up, but try not to dwell on it too much because it's gonna bring you down if you just focus on it and hyperfixate it. Like me personally, I got cheated on in basic training, right? So that was a huge blow to me. But what helped me through it was my battle buddies there at basic. You know, they were all lifting me up. You know, we were just focused on the training, and I just really got into PT at basic training. Like, I was about that shit. It was cool. I got the fastest 2-mile I ever ran in my life, right? In my entire military career, because I was just so angry. But I channeled that anger or whatever emotions I was feeling into my training. So that is my biggest tip to you guys. Transfer whatever nerves, anxiousness that you are feeling into the training. It'll make it go by a lot faster. Now, drill sergeants, right? A lot of you guys are probably worried about drill sergeants. Are they as mean and bad as they say they are? It's gonna be hit or miss, right? There's some drill sergeants that are super cool. There's some that hate their lives and were just like DA select, like forced to be there, and they don't want to be a drill sergeant, so they really don't give a shit, and they just take out their anger on the soldiers and stuff like that. So it will depend. You're going to experience some form of toxic leadership at least once in basic training. I can guarantee you that without a doubt, right? Overall, the drill sergeants aren't that bad, right? As long as you don't take anything personally, you'll be fine, right? Because if they're yelling at you, if they're in your face, right, they're doing that to break the civilian in you down and build the soldier in you up, right? That's their job. They're supposed to take you from a civilian who's probably lived a comfortable-ish life, right, compared to the military, and turn you into a soldier that's ready to face the trials and tribulations that you will come to face in the active duty military, National Guard reserves, and just things like that, right? That is their job. So if they're yelling at you, if they're trying to correct you, but they're doing it in like a really mean way, an aggressive way, just take it with a grain of salt, man. Like, I got yelled at a lot. I couldn't march for shit, bro. My drill sergeant put the fear of God into me because I could not stay in step while marching. I'm so uncoordinated, it's not even funny. And while it was, you know, like a shock to be yelled at, it wasn't anything I haven't experienced before. We played football in high school. Our coaches in football were honestly way worse. Texas football, that's way worse than basic training in my opinion, because they don't have any limits. They can make you do as many workouts as you want without any rest. At least in basic, they can only make you do a certain number of repetitions per exercise, right? There's ways around it. They can definitely fuck with that system to get you smoked. But at the same time, like, you're on a strict timeline in basic training, so they don't have a whole lot of time to fuck you up. They'll find the time if they really need to get a point across, but overall, as long as you guys are working together, communicating as a platoon, and there's no weak links, right? I say hopefully, like, that's like on the good end of things, but there's always going to be some weak links, right? But you guys as a platoon have to police everybody up and make sure everybody's doing the right thing, because if one person's messed up in basic training, everybody's messed up in basic training, and your platoon will pay the price, right? So I'm not telling you guys to go and like do a sock party or anything, or like bully the weak links, right? If anything, help build them up. There's different weak links, right? There's ones that are just not as physically active or fit as the others, right? And they may be holding you guys back in the runs or whatever. There's some that have the chip on their shoulders, right? That came in with an attitude, have an attitude, and think they're above it all, right? The ones that are, if a drill sergeant gets in my face, I'm gonna knock him out type of people, right? Those people, try to convey to them that they're fucking everybody over. That because of them, you guys aren't where you could be as a platoon, right? And it's just holding y'all back, right? And then other than that, those are like the two types of weak links to me, right? And eventually, I've seen the ones with the chip on the shoulders become good leaders eventually, because they start rising to the occasion and stuff like that. But as long as you communicate, guys, or at least try to anyway, and do what you can to get everybody on the same page, you probably won't be getting as fucked up as, you know, other platoons that may be a little mismanaged and stuff like that. But overall, basic training is pretty easy, guys. You show up, right place, right time, right uniform. As long as you do those three things, you will be golden. That is it. Like, you do that, you're solid, man. Like, that's it. As far as long distance and missing home, it's gonna happen, right? Like, you're gonna miss your family, you're gonna miss your significant other, your pets, whatever it is, but try not to focus on it, guys. I know it's hard. I know being away from home, for those of you that like home and stuff like that, can be difficult, but you're gonna make some friends there at basic training. And The most important thing, I guess, is probably lean on the people there, right? Make some friends, build the connections, you know, do fun things. On Sundays, you really don't do a whole lot. If you get your phones, cool. Exchange information with your battle buddies, or they have church services if you're religious, or even if you just want to get away from the barracks, go to church. I went to church. I'm not even super religious like that, but I went. They played some good music. It was a good time. It was a nice little reset, right? I enjoyed it. It was a good time. So that's just something you guys can do. But as long as you're filling your free time with experiences there, basic training with your battle buddies, or just, you know, doing things like that occupy your mind. I don't know, like think of something, right? You'll be okay. You won't be dwelling on your family as much and stuff like that. And just know that it's not forever. It's 2 months. 2 months a week, you know, 2 months in a week. That's not a long time, guys. It flies by like that. I got to basic and then I was out of basic. It felt like I blinked and it was over. It's so easy nowadays, guys. The only way you can mess it up is by literally refusing to train. They pass a lot of people that probably shouldn't be passed from basic training, guys. And one quote, or not a quote, but just something my drill sergeant said to me, well, our platoon as a whole was greater and lesser people than you have made it through basic training. And I just kept repeating that to myself over and over again in basic, because I was like, wow, if lesser people than me have made it through, then there's no reason why I shouldn't. And if you're scared about failing something, whether it's PT, marksmanship, grenades, whatever it is, right? Just know that it is not that bad. There was this one soldier in basic training who had to retest shooting their rifle like 4 or 5 times, and once they passed them. That was it. Usually if you fail it, you're done. You retry, you fail to retry, you're done. Recycled, right? But it's super hard to get recycled. It's super hard to get kicked out. Literally, right place, right time, right uniform. You do that, you're solid, you're golden, you're good. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully this video helps some way, shape, or form to just get rid of a little bit of the nerves or anxiety you may have about going to basic training. It's gonna be okay, right? If you have any questions whatsoever, hit me up on my Instagram at @thebenallen. Join my Discord, which is linked down below. There's over 300 people in there that have gone through basic training, getting ready to go, that are out currently. It's full of people that can help answer any questions y'all have, guys. Be sure to like this video. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here. I'm Ben Allen. For those of you that are new, I did 4 years active duty. I did a 1.5 years in the reserve, so I have a little bit of knowledge on both. And yeah, I know I haven't posted in a while, guys, so this is my first video like full-length army related video. I've just been busy with life, some health stuff, family stuff, just going to spring break, going to concerts, festivals. I got a new tattoo. I got this tattoo also. I've gotten a few tattoos since I've been on here. Palm trees just symbolize home for me. And yeah, we got the Akatsuki jersey on. But I'm glad to be back. Hopefully I'm more consistent with my videos. I'll try to be anyway. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you all for coming to watch this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.